It's the Paris Chong
Okay, so the road
Show.
trip, you started in Los Angeles and you ended in
New York.
okay.
Now we know New York and Los Angeles are the big cities.
Yeah.
We know which way they're going to end up going. But it was brilliant to go to these really small towns
Mhm.
across America, the rural areas,
Mhm.
just to see how people are surviving.
Yeah.
What is the economy like for them? What is the health like for them? I mean, what is the health infrastructure like
Mhm.
in rural parts of the country? It was fabulous. And
What was the project that what was the project they gave you to take photos of?
Well, because whatever happens in the United States impacts Canadians, it
Mhm.
impacts Canada a lot. The idea was to have me travel with a reporter who traveled by bus, by the way,
Okay.
on the
Oh, I
Greyhound.
know.
He took,
Behind you
he took,
or alongside you.
he took the
Super freak.
he took he took
This
the
guy sounds
Greyhound.
like a nut. And he could have driven with
Oh
you,
my God,
but he wanted to be on a
the
bus.
stories he can tell, boy,
Oh.
unbelievable. So it was just an idea of looking at the swing states, getting a pulse of the country prior
Mhm.
to the election, just to see where it's going, because
Yeah.
nobody really has any idea
Where do
who's
you
going to
think
win this.
where do you think it's going?
It's really hard to say. I think I would be lying if I thought it was going one way or another.
Yeah.
It's really hard to say,
Did
and
you vote?
I'm going to
'Cause you're American
for the
now.
first time.
Oh my god, you have to
I'm
vote.
so excited.
I
And
know.
sometimes people will say that if you live in New York or you live in Los Angeles, your vote doesn't matter, but
That
that's
does
that's the
matter.
worst. Of course it
I think it all
matters. Of
matters.
course it
Yeah, I don't
matters.
understand why people don't vote, and then they complain about things.
I
It's,
don't
like,
understand that
very
either.
strange to me.
That's kind of the most exciting thing for
Now
me.
now through these swing states, where were you surprised to, actually like that place?
Oh, I have to tell you, I went to this little place called Cashton, Vermont. No, Cashton, Wisconsin.
Okay.
And there might be 2,000 people that live there.
Yeah, I never heard of it.
Oh, it was fabulous.
I
It
feel
was
bad that I haven't heard of it, but,
Well, I mean, not I hadn't heard about
yeah,
it,
I
and I just would stumble upon
Cashton.
places.
So
I
you
would just
so
fall
you could you see yourself in Cashton someday?
I said to the reporter, I said, I could live here. There's
Really?
something really wholesome about this place, and it just feels like time has stopped." And he laughed at me and he said, "You'd survive 2 days and you'd be saying, 'Get me the hell out of here.'"
Yeah.
But I have to say, everywhere I traveled, every person I met, regardless of their political persuasion, everyone was kind to me. It was such an interesting
That's nice
assignment.
to hear.
Well, because we could have these really in-depth conversations
Mhm.
about what they were concerned about, which way they were leaning in
Well,
terms of
maybe
their
they were just
vote.
happy that somebody finally came to Cashton. They're like, "Oh, there's somebody here, a new person, a new person. There's a
Well,
new person. Let's be nice to her."
I certainly was a weirdo for sure.
No, I think it takes big balls for a woman to travel across country. I've never I would have to go with someone or a big, huge, mean dog. But like I have my girlfriend Deborah Anderson, she travels around all the time by herself. I'm like, I just think it's like feels unsafe, like because there's
Well, I
kooks
mean,
on the road, right?
totally, absolutely. So you've really got to be aware of your
Yeah.
surroundings. You've got to check your tires. There's a lot, but I would send my brothers my
Yeah.
location, so they could track me
So you
if
never
anyone.
got in a hairy situation where you're a little nervous?
No, the only time that I got into a hairy situation was when we were trying to find the reporter and I. We were trying to find the shooting range,
Okay.
and it was outside. And so I was going down a pathway that had signs that said, "Please turn around. Live shooting happening here."
Oh,
And I was
no.
saying to the reporter, "I think it's just a little further. We just have to go a few more inches." And he's like, "For the love of God, change the car around. We're going to
Yeah,
be
no,
shot here."
that is not good.
So I was grateful that that didn't
Yeah,
happen.
me
And
too.
it was just so immersive. It was really interesting. And because I was working, I was much more open to really listening and hearing what people had to
Yeah,
say. It's not like we were at a party together.
right.
I had a mission. My job was to document them, to see how they felt, which way they were leaning in terms of their vote. So it allowed me to be completely open and,
Mhm.
and listen to what people had to say. It was
Yeah.
absolutely fascinating. Great assignment. I mean,
So how long were you gone?
I was gone for 3 weeks.
And did they love the photos when when you sent them?
I was terrified. I really thought, "Oh my God, I'm going to fail this," because it was
No.
just so was such a huge assignment. Every single person I documented, I found them in the moment. Nothing was set up, nothing was preordained. And so I was just like in a sheer state of
I
panic.
don't know why you're like that, because 'cause you're kind of been like that with the show as well, like, "Oh, I don't know,
Totally.
is this okay? I don't know, I'll have it in a few days," because people are hiring you and working with you for a reason, because 'cause you're
I
good.
appreciate that.
You're
I really appreciate that, but I
It's the Paris Chong Show.